Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I thought that it would be interesting and maybe a little bit fun if I were to share some of the worst skincare tips and advice that I've ever been given over the years. If you are new here, welcome. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and you can also ring the bell if you would like to be notified every time I upload a new video. So if I go back to the time that I was at school, but it was basically throughout my teens and my early 20s, that was when my skin wasn't particularly great. I had hormonal breakouts and I just didn't really know how to take care of my skin. I'm sure most of you know what it's like being at school. You just want to blend in and not give anyone an excuse to make fun of you. And I just, really wanted to do anything I could to kind of like sort out and clear up my skin. So I remember going to like various different sources for advice of things that I could do or products that I could use or even hacks that might work. I went to drugstores, department store counters, I looked in glossy magazines, and I also asked my friends and family what they thought, I should do to kind of sort out the situation. I remember at one point I had a job delivering the newspapers. It didn't last for very long because I wasn't good at it, but the one time that I did manage to get a salary from it, I went straight to Superdrug to try and get some new products for my skin. And at that point it was these kind of like anti-blackhead, anti kind of oil control products, and those strips that you put on your nose to tear the blackheads out that never really seemed to work. I remember coming home with this foaming face wash and being so excited that it was going to hopefully transform my skin and my breakouts would just be a thing of the past. And I knew nothing whatsoever about skincare back then. And I remember washing my face and even then thinking that this just wasn't good. My skin was just so tight and so dry afterwards, and it never even occurred to me that, about using a moisturizer or anything like that. I was terrified of those products. My thought process is to just kind of like strip it away and like dry out the skin, even though at the time my skin wasn't that oily. All that I'd been using before that on my skin was a bar of Dove soap that my mum had given me, and that was a million times better than this kind of foaming face wash for spots that I was using. And what I've learned now is just that generally foaming face washes are just not the best thing for most skin types. Even if you've got oily skin, I think that if you just work at stripping away those oils, then it can just set the skin on a negative cycle where it tries to replenish those oils and it produces more oils and it just upsets the skin's natural balance. The same goes for face wipes. I think that so many people are recommended them and think that it's the best thing to use for their skin. And I think that it's just the cleansing process is so important for maintaining clear skin. So if you just kind of like use something that's damp and you wipe over your face, you're leaving like the residue of that face wash technically on your face, which is going to do nothing for unclogging your pores. If anything, it could even continue to clog them. And it's just going to remove perhaps 20% of the dirt on your face and then just leave a load of residue behind it. So I think that it's really important to kind of really massage a generous amount of cleanser over your face, whether it's a gel, an oil, or a balm, depending on your skin type. And then either wipe it off with a washcloth or just splash it with plenty of fresh water so that you rinse off all the residue and then your skin is properly clean, but it isn't overstripped. Some of you already know that I am also a hair colorist and that I work in a salon. And I remember when I was an assistant training and I was in my late teens, my skin still wasn't great. And one of the assistants that I worked with suggested that I put hydrogen peroxide on my face. That's the same stuff that we used to colour hair in the salon. And I tried it stupidly and it literally just made the whole pimple go completely white. So it kind of like bleached the skin, which when I look back on it now is just the worst thing to do it's just terrible. And it just ended up, making it bleed and probably took longer to heal and could have even caused scarring. That's just a terrible idea. So if you are an upcoming hair colorist or you've got a friend that is one, then never let them suggest that you put salon strength peroxide on your skin. Another thing that I think that perhaps some of you guys may have tried or heard about before is putting lemon juice on your skin. Now, this is not a good idea. Lemon juice is so powerful and so strong. Like when you think what it's like if you drink it pure, it would almost, it's just too strong. So if you put it on your face, it's just going to damage your skin. People have said that it can be good for hyperpigmentation, brightening the skin, keeping the skin clear. I think that everyone should just avoid home remedies and stick to professional, well-formulated products. In addition to lemon juice, nobody should use pure tea tree oil, vodka, vinegar, or anything like that to clear up their skin. Those types of old-fashioned rituals are just outdated, they're not good, and we've got really good skincare now that nobody should be doing that. I think that there's a lot to be said about these hacks and DIY treatments that you can do at home to save money or so that you can do it in a more holistic way. I think that there's a lot to be said about them and that we should avoid them and just stick to products that have been specifically formulated and recommended by experts to address specific skincare concerns. Eventually, I did start to invest more in better products for skin. I moved away from the kind of Clearasil days that I mentioned before with the face wash. And then I remember using a face wash. It was still a foaming one though, and it had salicylic acid in. So I was kind of moving in the right direction. So I started using this exfoliating face wash. Salicylic acid is really good for breakouts, but it is a chemical exfoliator. And it didn't even occur to me that I should be wearing an SPF with that. Now, bear in mind, I bought this from a beauty counter in a department store. It was from a big brand. And no one told me that when you're using that type of product that you have to wear an SPF with it, or you should be replenishing your skin with hydrating serums. So I went about happily exfoliating my face every single day with this salicylic acid cleanser and potentially damaging my skin by not backing it up with an SPF. I've been trying to explain to some of my friends that have been using really strong exfoliating acids on their face. They love the way that it makes their face feel nice and smooth, nice and clear. And I've said to them, you have to wear an SPF. You're using these products because you want to address the signs of aging, but what you're potentially doing is accelerating the speed of aging on your skin because you're stripping away those layers of skin that can somehow protect your skin a little bit from UV rays. It would actually be better if in this case they left their face and didn't put any AHA, BHA, retinol, vitamin C, any of those products on their face, because by doing that and then not using the SPF, they're definitely making it worse. Going back to when I was at school, I remember reading in a magazine so many times in different magazines that we should put toothpaste on our spots. I think that I believed it at the time, tried it. Obviously it didn't work, and I don't know where these people got this advice from or to think that that was a good idea to do that. Putting toothpaste, maybe there is something in it, but it definitely didn't work for me. I think that the flavour of the toothpaste, if anything, is more likely to irritate the skin rather than do it any good. If any of you were thinking of using lemon juice, peroxide or toothpaste on your skin, do not do it. I can tell you from personal experience that it's a terrible idea. Please let me know in the comments if you've been given any ridiculous skincare advice over the years. I would love to know. I'm laughing and it's quite funny and light-hearted, but actually it can be quite serious because there is the potential to really mess up and damage the skin. The quality of products and the information out there is so much better. Even in the last year or two, I think that it's just really become amazing and the prices are much lower, so everyone has access to really, really good products that can safely treat and address different skincare concerns so that we've all got a much better chance of maintaining clear skin. I hope this video was fun and maybe even useful. Don't forget to give this a thumbs up and I will see you in the next one.